I know it's been a while, but you guys have been asking for it. Another episode of getting to know the TS27, the Q&A series where I answer your questions from down in the comments section. Now, I'm revamping this series to make the videos much shorter than they used to be, so if I don't get to your question, I will probably type you a response in the comments section if I don't use it in a future video. So don't be offended if you don't see it. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to condense this shit down so that everybody can consume it. Now, let's get into the questions here, and the first one is from Earl Nuggets. Asks, do you ever plan on quitting YouTube? And the answer to this question is no, I don't ever plan on quitting doing YouTube, but YouTube is my hobby. It's my side chick, if you will. I have a job in which I work 40 hours a week, and that's what pays the fucking bills. YouTube only gives me like 40 or 50 bucks a month. Not nearly enough to turn the lights on around here. Maybe it's enough to put gas to get in my car to go to my real fucking job, but that's about it. So I don't ever plan on quitting YouTube. However, if there are too many things that are going on in my social life, or if work is kind of busy at a certain time of year, you'll notice that I've taken some days off of posting. I try and post every day because I have a lot of content ideas, and I know you guys enjoy what I produce, but unfortunately, I have a real life and I have a real job. This is just my hobby, so sometimes I'll skip a day here or there, and the only way that I'll ever quit YouTube is if these things become so overwhelming that I can no longer afford to do YouTube because I just don't have enough time. As it is, there's only 24 hours a day, and I wish there were more, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And this is why, by the way, I don't have a live stream schedule. I don't know exactly how or when my workload will start to uptick, if you will, which is why I don't keep myself to a strict schedule, because if there's something going on, then unfortunately I can't stream. If you do follow me on Twitch, you get an email whenever I go live, and I'll always post up a YouTube video to my channel whenever I'm streaming. But unfortunately, I don't have a set streaming schedule. Fruiak Wilkford asks, what is your opinion on McDonald's employees wanting $15 an hour? Remember, that's $15 an hour for people who half the time can't get the order right. Honestly, nobody fucks up my fast food order, and you know why? Because I just order off the goddamn menu. I'm not a special snowflake, and I don't need a seeded bun versus an unseeded bun. I don't ask for special shit. You make a burger, make it for me, and I'll fucking eat it. Stop being special, goddammit. Order food the way it's presented on the menu, motherfuckers. Anyways, for his actual question, we actually debated this point on the Triggered podcast, which, for those of you guys that don't know, is a podcast that I co-host with a bunch of other people, and we debated this on the episodes. So instead of me just telling you what was said, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of it here.
You think everybody deserves a $15 minimum wage?
Well, first off, the proposal is overtime, so we're not talking about tomorrow. But second off, if wages kept up with inflation over time, that's where we'd be. Third, we've created an economy where these services are in demand. So we're going to have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of these fast food workers.
Unless robots do it.
Unless robots do it. But
you're gonna get a there's a smartphone, and then before you know it, it's gonna be automated cars, and then there's not gonna be an Uber driver, and all of a sudden you just push a fucking button, it drives you to McDonald's, and McDonald's makes your food for you with no employees whatsoever. It's happening in 10 years.
The robot future is the trump card on my position. But if we grant
but here's the thing,
do
even Domino's has got you tweet them and they'll deliver you a fucking pizza. Like, we're not that far off from that fucking scenario, are we?
Yeah. I mean, here's the question is, if we grant that humans are gonna do it, right? You can't have the argument of, well, they all just need to work harder and get better jobs. Well, no, dude, there's demand for tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of jobs for these people that are going to have to be filled by somebody. And so they're going to have to do that job. Do you want to support them with social safety nets like Medicaid, where we all pay for their healthcare anyway? Or do you want McDonald's to pay for them, their employers, such that they can have a living wage and they're not a drain on everybody else? Do you guys think that there's a certain hypocrisy in all of us creating demand at places like Walmart and McDonald's by going there to shop for all this stuff and then turning around and saying, you're a piece of shit for working there, enjoy your wage. By the way, fuck the Medicaid too. Don't ever go to the doctor because you're not worth it. That we don't do that in our. There's a certain degree of hypocrisy there.
No,
there's a more accommodating hypocrisy
that we need.
Hypocrisy is expecting to raise children on a minimum wage job. Like, how am I going gotta feed
But-
my kids. Put the dick down, lady. I'm right? It's like I need
But-
so much more. It's so easy. You take out the artificial food, the ingredients. You take away you would pay the employees more. All of a sudden, McDonald's costs a reasonable amount, and nobody wants to buy it anymore.
No, it doesn't, because there's competition with Wendy's, there's competition with Arby's, there's competition with
And the
all
prices
these
would all
fast
go
food
up.
places that are they're not all going to go up. We've never seen that before. We raise minimum wage and everything remains stable. It's not like, oh, everyone's out of a job now. We raise minimum wage and all the jobs are gone. It's never happened, yet we hear this line of reasoning repeated. I don't understand what that's based on. It's based on this this prophetic fear, this idea that it's going to happen when we've never seen evidence in support of it.
Well, also CEOs make 400 times what the worker makes versus only about 30 to 40 times what the worker used to make back in, the 50s and 60s before this complete and utter explosion of pay for, the top niche.
Oh, you mean when
So,
Reagan ruined the financial structure of the United States? I mean, the trickle-down economics fucking idea that destroyed everything.
Can the economics start to trickle down, please?
Trickle your economics down, rich boy. Shut up. Get the fuck out of here.
Get to trickling, please.
Trickle my balls.
So basically, my position is very similar to what Skag's position is, which is why I wasn't really talking, in that if people work 40 hours a week or they work full-time, I think they deserve to have a decent living. Not necessarily, extravagant with a brand new car and all these other things, but if we kept up with the rate of inflation, minimum wage would be over $18 an hour. Just remember that. The next few questions are some music questions. Blazing Tires, yo Schwantz, do you listen to MGMT? Absolutely not. I didn't even know who they were before I looked them up, and then after I heard one of their songs, I turned it off almost motherfucking immediately. Not my style of music. Also, when I run for city council, I actually am the president of the homeowners association where I live, and I hate having to deal with people and all of their complaints and all of the different things that they want to do and all the differing opinions that come about, especially when people don't know the entire circumstance and act like they know everything. While I do have some political opinions and some strong ones, I will vote. I'm not going to run for city council because, quite frankly, I don't want to deal with all of the politics involved in this shit. But I will vote and let somebody else do it. Next up is Chaos Lord David with a Would You Rather. Option 1, listening to every song from only your all-time favorite band, which I guess I'll say Megadeth, or 2, listening to only one song from the bands that I like. I'd rather go with option 2. For me, I really enjoy metal music, but I also like to have a variety. I do like rap music, I do like house music, and every once in a while, I'll enjoy some pop music. Give me some Backstreet's Back, all right, motherfuckers. Give me some of that shit. So I'd rather have a variety than listening to only songs from one band, even if that band has a different variety of sounds to them. Like, for example, I know Incubus is kind of all over the map in terms of all their different albums, but I'd much rather have multiple different bands than just one. Gov HQ, one of the top 5 most played songs on my iTunes library. So let's look this shit up right now. So other than the songs that are by my own band, I guess I have to eat my own cooking, right? Number 1 is Bullet for My Valentine, Waking the Demon. Number 2 is Dystopia by Iced Earth. Number 3 is Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. Number 4 is Cowboys from Hell by Pantera. And number 5 is The Crowing from Coheed and Cambria. So those are my top 5 songs. Obviously, they're mostly metal songs, one hard rock song, and I do have some actual rap songs after that. I've got Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G-Thing as number 7 or 8, and then I have Busta Rhymes' Dangerous as number 10, so I do have some rap in there. It just so happened they didn't break my top 5. Avi Cohen asks, what are some good tips you have for picking up girls? My advice to you is to be the best version of yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, don't fake anything, because you can't really fake it till you make it. It's hard to keep up the facade, especially if you want a long-term date, this girl. But if you are the best version of yourself, you're kind of putting yourself on a pedestal where you don't have to fake it, but you are the person that you achieve to be or aspire to be, for example. So do things like being sure to listen, ask about her, make it a two-way conversation. Don't talk over, don't, control the conversation, and just be respectful. Most people want just to be heard or to be respected. That's basically it. Golden rule obviously goes a long way. Treat others as you'd want to be treated, and I think that that's probably the best way to go about picking up chicks. Also, even if you're not confident, act confident, because there's nothing that turns people off more than somebody who's hesitant or wishy-washy or sending them mixed messages. Be confident in what you say and be confident in what you do, even if you're not as confident. In order to break the ice, do it with a shared moment that the two of you guys have. So if you're at a bar or someplace and somebody did something like very interesting, you could just point it out and go, wow, I can't believe that just happened. Can you? As a thing to kind of like insert yourself into the conversation. So that's going to do it. If you got a question for next time, please leave it down in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Getting to Know the Schwantz 27. Out like Bo Ryan at Wisconsin. Until next time.